Um, Hi, I just find myself listening to the recording, and it's like my life situation keeps making so that um it sounds as if I am insisting on incest with my son. I am not insisting on incest with my son. That is not the point. The point is that people have tried to frame me, the men who have been pedophiles with my son since he was a tiny little boy. Since he was a little boy, not when he's a grown man, but when he's a little boy, those pedophile men keep trying to push as if incest now that my son is grown up between me with my son. And that is not the truth about my son nor me. Okay, like really those wicked masterminds of evil are the ones that like the people say, well, you don't file a report against, and you don't, and my son has to say that I am the crazy one because well, because like, yeah, he just chooses to say that he wants to like not acknowledge anything besides to say that, oh, my mom is schizophrenic. My mom gets those tormenting thoughts, and I'm saying, well, the reason your mom gets these thoughts is because your mom was like, did you read the Scarlet Letter? Like I went to ninth grade school at Charter Oak, and we had to read that, and so it's like, why explain to do with I'm a female, gender non-conforming. So that much social pressure is what I tell myself. Um, okay. So this is to clarify that I am not saying, oh, I want to move away to be incestuous with my son. I want to move away so that the disgusting other men that also reside in this house, my mom's husband, my sister's husband, don't feel like they have the right to shout at me in cannibalistic phrases because they feel like I have to either, I don't know, do something intimate with them myself, even though they're not my family. My mom's husband is not my family. My sister's husband is not my family that I would want to be that way with. That's not how they entered my mind in my life. They didn't enter that way. My mom's husband entered my life where they had a contract about them alone, and my sister with her husband too. Okay, and with my son, he entered this world through me, like I'm his mother, and I am his mother above all else. So in in the way of um being incestuous, that is not my aim in trying to get um like, I guess the point to settle also the mental illness is like, since back then, to do with my intimate life. So really it's a matter of what good men on earth have ever said to me, go live with me with your son, both of you will be okay. What trauma you have in your mind will lessen. um, they didn't, because the trauma stemmed um, from um, yeah, what I already explained, um, that I didn't, um, I just, I don't know. Some people say I was dealt a bad um, hand in life, like a bad card game or something like that, where uh, a lot of my youth, like the best years of my life, like I didn't utilize to increase, I didn't utilize my physical youth to increase my financial wealth in a way that um, um, like worldly women have done or did, or are doing, because I got stuck in this, language with the friends that formed around me, with my, you know, my the physical structure in my brain being different makes me a target to the whims of people. So I've lived my life all like in accordance with like how to live with um, the least conflict imaginable, the least conflict possible. And so for now, my son was angry because I was talking loud, and it's because they're accusing me of that, with him, and I am like really saying that I want to go away from here, not to be like um antisocial, not to manifest antisocial behavior. um I want to move away with my son to be more socially accepted, so that all my issues are clear, and um, are clear and straight for me to comprehend, like my manner of payment, what I do to earn a living, um, what my intimate contacts could be, so that there is no um, more tension, no more um, feeling as if I have to um, like ask the neighbors for a suicide, because that's what I did before I went next door. And it's maybe you're connected with someone about me getting a dose to treat to treat the situation, because in the past didn't seem so far-fetched, because like I said, in this neighborhood, in this area, since when I was a 16-year-old girl, a 15-year-old girl, um like my son is a grown up now, a grown man, and he thinks that I shouldn't go to Mexico. And so the treatment back then was like to overdose me. And so that's why I was like, um wherever that came from back then, like I had permits, to come down, and had permits for me to take, and had permits for whatever they were going to do with my body if I did die. So whatever did happen to the other raver bodies, that were on ecstasy, because the majority of them were dying on ecstasy, not on LSD. They would tell me LSD is not a deadly drug. You will not die from LSD. Well, okay, no, but I did stroke from aerobics, because the I had been diagnosed with asthma. Um, upon crossing the border, I became ill during PE. I had to dribble the ball during the court, during like noon time, like 1 p.m. was so hot. I couldn't dribble the ball at the court for PE. Like, I don't know, I'm different. My body was different. I got so sick anyway. They told me I have asthma. And so, with that, you know, the aerobics, the mob mentality was operating in my body during those nights in LSD, and they like taught me yoga, and they like taught me aerobics. So we were doing so much aerobics, along with the sound, that my heart just like couldn't keep up, and it was like I couldn't breathe. I couldn't breathe, but I could not stop the movement. And I was like, I can't breathe anymore, but my body cannot stop moving. And so it was like moving against my will. It was like external force making me move, and I was just like, was dying from yeah, from overexertion. But then I didn't die, and I was happy, and I felt extra limber the next day, and like my skin was all clearer. Like I just sweated like aerobics all night. So I went to get a gym membership, and then like I just became aware of how like good for my health exercise is, to the point of getting like going for a run. You know, you get like really hot and sweaty, and so I've talked a long time again. When I was trying to say that, um, like yeah. Well, there you get a glimpse of my personality. Um, I'm not livable with, like, to share a house with. I don't know. But yeah, for a fact, what I wrote, whatever happens, although the paranoia, although the schizophrenia, I keep my function, very real in that regard, where every day I believe that what happens is only what I agreed will happen, plans I made with others. That's why like I just rest, because that's the way I really always have lived. Even in like the worst times of the schizophrenia, like the worst time was Mark's head got hurt, and so even during the worst time, he didn't faint, and that's the worst. That's the worst, um, like bodily injury crime on my part that I could possibly commit while being semi-conscious, semi-asleep, from sleep deprivation, from physical starvation, from meriting hate from my previous religion members, I guess, probably. Um, like I never suspected. I never suspected some people to have been the voices. Like they have stopped being evil since then, because I guess they're like, oh, well, we're our real selves now, and they don't um, anymore. Like for instance, the foul language is greatly reduced. Um, so thank you for less foul language, and yeah, I don't know. What happens is what will happen, whatever happens. Are the things that we're going to plan. I don't have big plans for now, besides like file for the birth certificate, um, file for the divorce documents for the other record. But then I get afraid, like, if I keep on with that record, like doing things for that record or with that record, already the court hearing was, had auditory distortions. And so the one that happened that I talked about. And so I think that I feel like my conscience tells me, so that my character, what befits my character, is that I ought to press for the real birth record. Like, go print that document at the UPS store or the library, mail that, and like, maybe that's the fastest way to get a new contract for funeral arrangements. Is my priority in life, since I'm crossed the border, started working. I paid for my funeral now since the 383 corpses across the border. Um, like my heart is crushed from seeing that, because that those bodies were probably like me that paid. Like we believed that we were going to be properly cremated, and like the family members got fake ashes, and like this is really hard work, living is really hard work. Like, it was difficult for me to work to earn that money to pay for that tranquility, for that peace of mind, for myself, for my loved ones. And so even though we get angry, I think my family members do care, about what happens to us after we're dead. Like, we don't want to be mistreated, and we can't trust the normal ways for living in society, like even up to the time of like after death. And when we trusted the funeral homes, now so many people have been born that they're operating at maximum capacity, and some of us lesser, I don't know, I consider myself, economic disadvantage, because of the mental illness stigma. And uh, so the mega crematory unit conception is like a necessity, probably. And again, not to be morbid, but I am mostly laying down all the time, and so the complaints I get nowadays are for lack of contribution. I'm not contributing money, I'm not contributing mobility. Like, my bathroom's really dirty, so is the floor. I have difficulty washing the dishes. And yeah, I can storm off for a minute or two, because I I feel like I've just woke up and I have been quiet all this time, and I can't even like cough, because it's all I could do is take medical marijuana here, for the way that I have been like blatantly turned away um from medical care, based on that fake record since 2023. um all I can get is food, and the employment, uh through the cleaning, um the cleaning chores, uh, at the restaurant downtown. I thought to solicit to apply for cleaning the other inside the other building there, where they have the aluminum containers. So they also thought that I'm up to something else that has to do with intimate contacts, and so the lady got an attitude right away, like, well, this is my turf, my territory. She became real like, and I'm like, lady, I'm not trying to take your clients or whatever. Like, I really was trying to get inside the building only when people aren't there, when there are no clients, really to only clean the aluminum containers they're holding, I guess, really fresh good beer. So I I'm too immobile to even do that. But that's my level of involvement in, like, in the city or the town, and like being happy that, like, I've been here fantasizing about the soft floor that is now at the park, and the soft floor that is now on my shoes. Like, oh my god, these, I can walk in for my arthritis. And that's the paper. I like to stare at that paper. So, I'm not too difficult to live with. I feel as if the others hope that we could move away, to live with other people where I'll know in advance that that's the arrangement, is to like share partners with everybody in the house. Like, I never agreed to sharing partners with everybody in the house. Um, I never, my son with me never agreed to insist. We were raised, like differently, and so like we have real love between us, like whatever the whim of the people are that they consider appropriate, plus the comfort, with ourselves. Like, I don't have to explain. The internet people already knew from when I was briefly on the mental health groups. There was a lot of love, a lot of support there for us, in acknowledging like the propriety and the purity in our case, that and like I still have to upload this video. And anyway, so I'll stop talking for now. Um, I'm getting really tired again. So thanks for listening.